Hey guys, it's Scott from Horse Racing. This was like 2024 Arkansas Derby. I'm going to use Thorograph to break down the race, handicapping it, see what we like and don't like, and who has good patterns or bad patterns coming to the race. And we're going to get into it. We're going to take a look at We'll Take It, the number one horse by Eddie Milligan Jr. You can see as a 2-year-old, he got a 15, and then his first start, a 3-year-old, got a 20. That was on the sloppy track, and then came back a second race. Managed to reach a new top with a 10, and I think it's probably going to take about a 1 to win this race, if not a 0. So I'm going to say that, trying to ask him to make a big jump from 20 to 10, then from 10 to 1, you just don't see a whole lot of horses that, move that forward in that length of span. So I'm going to say for We'll Take It, certainly if he can prove to, 5 or 6 could be a candidate to get to the exotics. But, for win bet purposes, I would say We'll Take It's going to be up against it. Uh, the number 2 horse can be Timberlake, one of the top contenders, one that probably everybody wants to see. And you see the 2 I ran a 15, second race got a 5 and a 10, and then took a big leap forward in October, got a 2, and Santa Anita came back, ran a 2 again, and then his first start, the 3-year-old got a 2, and this will be a second start off the layoff, and I would say there should be some improvement, probably down to that 1 or 0 level it would take to win this race. Uh, but also, he does already have his Derby points. So that kind of throws a little question mark in the back of my mind. Are they going to have him fully cranked or not? And if this horse is anything close to fully cranked, I certainly think he'll make that leap forward. So definitely, this kind of validated him being a major win contender for me. And the third horse is going to be Dematic, and Dematic got a 15-11 as a 2-year-old and came back. Paired that top up his first race as a 3-year-old, and then came back, got an 8 in the Southwest, and he's gonna have to improve off that 8. I'm not sure if there's gonna be enough improvement to go from a 8 all the way to the 1 or 0 it's gonna take to win this race. But certainly I would say he has a chance to hit the 3 or 4 range and definitely be a candidate to get into the superfecta and stuff like that. So I think Dematic's one that after looking at this, have a little more consideration for exotic bets. And Time for Truth by Ron Moquette, 2-year-old got a 7. First was a 3-year-old got an 8, then paired that up again, his next race out an allowance race. And, he's going to have to take a big step forward too. But, I do like the fact that he paired these two, speed figures up together. So I think there could be another forward move. I'm not sure if that forward move is going to be enough to get him in the winner's circle. But, for this, I would probably side against Time of Truth. And the next horse can be Liberal Arts, and this horse kind of surprised me because this is the first time today is the first time I really seen the Thorograph figures for Liberal Arts, and I expect it'll be a little bit higher than what it was. And I kind of think the Liberal Arts is like the great value version of Anna Marie. Uh, so I got a 20, 13, 11, 9, and 6. So every time this horse raced, he improved. And his first start as a 3-year-old got a 4, and there could certainly be a big forward move off of that. He already beat the top. This horse is still developing, and certainly getting that 1 or 0 is right there within range. And if you watch my last video, I said I had the feeling that I thought something funky could happen. It wouldn't be as simple as taking the top 3 and boxing them and going with that. But Liberal Arts is certainly a candidate after looking at this that could get in your exactas, could even possibly win the race. Let's say like Timberlake doesn't fire or Muth or somebody like that. But Liberal Arts definitely gets a big bump up after looking at this. And then Informed Patriot, the other Steve Asmussen horse, got a 13, 9, 9, 9, 2-year-old. Came back, got a 10, his first race as a 3-year-old. And I'm not too thrilled about, that 14 in the Sunland Derby. It would take just a massive leap forward to get down to the be able to win this race. So for me, Informed Patriot, is going to be a toss off my tickets. And Moved by Bob Baffert. This is one that, this one kind of shocked me too, but in more of a negative way. He got a 6, 6, 4, and then in the Breeders' Cup got a 1. And then, came back his first as a 3-year-old, got the 6. And that's a big bounce off the 1. And, I wonder, is he going to be able to get back to this 1? He's coming off the layoff. Just how fit is he going to be? Like, he's going to be ready to run that new, as there's other horses that show they got, within range to run the top that's going to take to win this race. And I just wonder if there's going to be that move. And seeing this kind of makes me think that move who probably could, if not favorite, it's going to be second favorite. I'm not, the betting public will decide that, but definitely I'm leaning towards discount Muth a little bit after seeing this, as just the value won't be there. And there's other horses like a you know Liberal Arts that'll be probably 8, 9 to 1 that has the same chance I think of getting there as a Muth. And then the next horse is Just Still by D. Wayne Lucas, and this horse coming all over the place. 26, 9, 7, 14, 15, 9, improved all the way to a 2. Then came back as a 3-year-old, got an 8, and then second race came all the way back down to a 2, and then of course bounced off of that and got a 7. And if Just Still can get back down to this 2 range, I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough to win, but definitely a horse that can still get in the trifecta, superfecta, and that just might be enough to get him to the start gate on Kentucky for a Kentucky Derby. So definitely, Just Still will be used on my trifectas, superfectas, and all that. Uh, then you got Mystic Dan. This is probably the other horse everybody really wants to see Thorograph figures too, and you got a 9, 6, bounced off of that, got a 14, and then first started 3-year-old got a 9, and then came back. And this is the race right here in the Southwest that everybody has got everybody talking. Ran a 0 in that, and I kind of feel like there might be a bounce off of that. For one, the last time we got a reached a new top, that was a bounce. And that's a 9, almost 10 point swing, or 9.2, and 0.1, or however you want to label that. But I would say the chances of going forward is probably less, or there's more of a chance he's going to revert back to a 4 or 5 than I would say keep on going to a new top. And if he can just pair it, that would be great. But I'm going to say there's a high potential for a bounce off the speed figure. You see it happen all the time. Uh, so for me, I think Mystic Dan, this is another, check in the box for, me making the case to play against him. But, if you like Mystic Dan, certainly has the best Thorograph figure in the race. And, it just might be enough to do it. And then, the next horse can be Imperial Gun. And this is another Aspies horse that kind of intrigues me, not so much to win, but, to get to the, superfecta, trifecta. Got a 14, an 8. This is a 3-year-old, came back, kind of paired it up to, got a 9. I'd expect another forward move off of this, probably to a 5 or a 6. And, we'll see if that's enough to, get him in the superfecta. You can start to see, after looking at Thorograph, why Asmussen has a couple of these horses over here. And, that's it for the Arkansas Derby. I would say that, Liberal Arts and Timberlake are, probably the beneficiaries of looking at Thorograph. And I think Muth and Mystic Dan are, kind of look a little bit vulnerable, looking at from Thorograph, especially Muth. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.